Hey everybody, and welcome back to iRacing and the Formula Vee series. We are in week 8 of 12. And before we get too far into the race, I want to say some tragedies happened in the FARMER-KLEIN Discord last week, and I'm going to be dedicating the rest of the Formula Vee series here on iRacing to Diesel Sims and his family. He tragically passed away last week. Kind of a shocker to us all. I know he enjoyed iRacing, so, well, the rest of this season is dedicated to you, buddy, and your family. Now, here we are, getting ready for the start. This race is really fun. This track is really fun with this car, and first thing I want to say is take a look at the car over here to the right. It's got some graffiti on the car. Well, we're going to see him a few times during the race, and a couple of times we see him aren't really going to be the best. We start this race in 8th place, and well, we've got a lot of really fast and close racing. We've got two big braking zones, one right here going into turn 1, and well, there goes our buddy. Like I said, we were going to see him again, so let's see that again. So he comes in, gets a little hot, just spins, thankfully spins out of the way, everybody just drives on through, and we managed to clear. But our excitement in lap 1 is not over because, boom, two cars make contact on a turn where you really shouldn't. Now, the guy in the back, he is car number 1. He should know better. This is not a turn where you try to pass. It is tight, it is blind, and they touch wheels, and they both just spin off. Thankfully, they are off in the gravel, and everyone can clear them. So we lost a few places at the start, but we have managed to, well, basically get ourselves back to 7th place, thankfully. Now, this guy here in front, you just saw him blink out. I'm not a huge fan of bad internet connections, and I'm really worried that this guy is going to blink out right when we are beside each other, and therefore we're going to crash. So I'm really concerned about him. But thankfully, he goes a little wide back there, loses momentum. This is a very, very fast portion of the racetrack. A lot of drafting can happen here. You can really catch a lot of speed, and it can cause issues because you can go into turn 1 a lot faster than you're expecting, and you can really blow through this corner. Since this car does draft so well, and this is a fairly fast track with that long front straight, there is a lot of really close pack racing. In fact, a lot of the other races that we've done this season, first, second, and third, can usually get pretty strung out with the rest of the field. But in all the races I've done this week on this particular track, it has been really close pack type racing for the entire race. Here you see that guy blinking out again. So like I said, I'm really a little nervous about him and trying to race him too terribly close because, well, we don't need him blinking out and then blinking back on top of us. That is going to spell disaster. Now what I'm thinking about here is I want to maintain a little bit of a gap because we want to have a good speed coming off of this turn here, because we are then going to be able to run straight down the front, hopefully draft off of this guy and get around him. So if you look at our speedometer down there, we're at 99, 100, 101. On the inside, we want to brake a little early. We don't want to drift out too far because, well, we would have taken him out. So not quite on that lap. Now this section through here is flat out all the way to the start finish. I'm want to make sure you come through these turns really good, get good shift points so you can carry that momentum onto the front straight. There's a slight lift going into this final turn just to make sure you don't drag it out over into the gravel. See if we can make the pass this time around. One. We get to 102. Not quite. So he carries a little bit too much speed, drifts wide, and there we go. We are now in 6th place. And if you look at the cars in front, you can pretty much count all the way back to us. So there's 5 more cars in front of us, and we basically can see the front 3 pack. Then we have these 2, and then us. So we are in touching distance of the lead at this point. Again, our thought process is to try to maintain as much speed through this corner as possible, so we can try to get a little bit of a draft off of these guys coming down the front straight. We're still a little bit too far ahead of us. You see our speeds are greatly reduced as compared to when we're drafting. We're up to 99, 100, so we are getting a little bit of a draft. Coming through here, it's a little sketch because this is a heavy braking zone. We're going to try to not go too wide into that corner. We managed to pass one position there, but we lose the position again. It's okay. We just reset and try going down the front straight. So I don't want to get too close to these guys. In fact, I might feather the throttle just a little bit just to make sure I don't too much up on the back end there. Slight lift, turn in, and try to carry a lot of momentum. Hoping, now we got a lift here, because we're going to run ourselves right back into the back of the white car. So that does allow us, now we are 3 wide, going down the front straight. So I'm not super excited here. Getting to the brakes a little early. Thankfully, the guy on the inside was on the brakes earlier than me, so we just kind of file in now. Heavy brake right around the tree, downshift, coast, and then back on the throttle. A little bit of braking here so we can stay tight on the corner, throttle all the way out. And now the goal is to see if we can basically do the same maneuver this time around and pass this car. He had a little better turn there than I did. It's okay, we're going to try to draft behind him. Get some speed picked up and tuck our nose out. Hopefully we have enough momentum now to carry us clear. But here comes the white car with the lettering on the side. So we lucked out there. We banged wheels with the white car on the inside. We lose a couple positions because we lost a lot of momentum. You may have seen the front right wheel lock up on there, but thankfully that was a 0x. So that was considered close contact, but not hitting us with an incident point. So really lucky there because it could have taken off our front right wheel. We could have gotten a 4x there or a 2x there, but we came out with 0. So that was a nice little benefit, but we did fall back a couple positions. So we just reset and try to take them on again. But still, even with the fighting that we are doing here, back here in 4th, 5th, 6th, and 7th place, we can still see 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. So we haven't lost full touch with the leaders at this point. Good run off of that corner. Of course, the white car is drafting off the red car. Now I'm drafting off the red car. And I'm just going to poke my nose right here in the middle because, well, they left the gap. So I'm going to take that gap and see if we have a little better luck going 3 wide into the corner. Now I bang into the white car. Luckily, it was, again, a 0x. But he just seemed to slow down a little bit more than I could. I couldn't hit the brakes here. I end up losing yet another position. But it's like 1st and 2nd just got into it right there on that turn where you should not be passing. Boom, back up to 6th place. Now coming through here, ooh, the white car gets out into the grass, spins, and we narrowly miss it. Let's take a closer look. So the white car gets out there, gets in the grass, spins, we avoid him. The guy right behind him avoids him, and, well, we all luck out there. Back up to 5th. Still see 1st and 2nd. And 3rd is the red car. 4th is the yellow car, and then we are in 5th place. I'm hoping I can get a good run because guess what, everybody? It is the white flag lap. Final lap of the race. So my goal here is to stay pretty close to 3rd and 4th. And hopefully I have a chance to pass them coming out of the last corner and sneak up on the podium, or at least maybe sneak a position here on the yellow car. Cars actually draft through here also, so you got to be careful. You don't get too much speed and too close. You don't blow through this braking zone. First and 2nd, they are fighting pretty good. We're coming up on them. This is one of those tracks that if you can get with some folks and just run right behind them, you can really run a lot faster than if you keep fighting at every drafting zone. Now, the yellow car, I think he either got right up into the red car's transmission there, or he just got out of the gas because he was gaining too much speed. So we blow past him into 4th place. We don't have quite enough room to drag past into the 3rd, but there we go. Right on 3rd place's transmission, rear end, at the end of the race. So that was a fun one. Kind of exciting. We really lucked out on a couple different times. We had the close contact coming through this corner twice, and then we had the one guy spin in front of us that we were able to avoid. So we really did get lucky on this particular race. This track, this car was really fun all week long. And like I said, we're going to dedicate the rest of the season. There are 9, 10, 11, 12. So there's 4 more races to the season. We're going to dedicate each race of this season to our good friend Diesel Sims, who tragically passed away last week, and his family. I know he really enjoyed iRacing. He really enjoyed American Truck Sim and Farm Sim. So if you've watched any of those videos, you've probably seen and heard him over the last couple months. So yeah, this series is now dedicated to you, buddy. And I like to finish the race by doing a kind of a victory lap, cool down lap, come on into the pits. Lots of folks just stop, pull off the side of the road and exit, but I kind of like just to finish the race out with a final lap. So guys, that is it. Hope you all enjoyed it. And until next time, happy racing.